everybody. Thanks for dropping back in. Thanks for hitting the download button, and thanks for telling a friend. We love it when you tell a friend, when you share what we're doing here. Hope you enjoy it. And as always, I'm Pastor Dave, sitting with Randall the Armor Bearer, and we are
They That Believe.
This is where church culture meets pop culture. We talk about entertainment news, geek news, current events, world news, all filtered through a lens of lifestyle Christianity. Before we get started into random stuff today, there's something that was bugging me today that I want to address.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid these kind of rants, but this one's just so silly that it's driving me nuts. Today is Equal Pay Day.
Ooh.
Equal Pay Day. And what it does is, you know how, like, when, of course, taxes are due, but there's a magic date on the calendar that they show you, and they say, this is the day that Americans have worked just enough to pay their taxes, and then everything else. Well, Equal Pay Day is the magic date on the calendar that you meet where women have supposedly earned enough to make up for the supposed pay gap of the previous year, because the narrative is that women are paid lower wages or at a lower rate than men. Here's the problem with that. It is completely mythological. That is complete nonsense, and let me explain to you why. And I want everybody to listen and understand how this works, because, well, I'm tempted to say it's a math problem, and it's not really a math problem. It's conclusions that are drawn from the math. The math is good.
Yeah.
Here's the way that it's done. They take earnings. Example, since everybody has been doing their taxes, you're looking at yearly earnings, what you earned last year and how much the government wants of that. So they take the earnings of men and they take the earnings of women, and they do a oversimplified two-scale piece of math, a two-scale equation, as it were, and they come up with a difference. So that difference is usually, depending on where you see, it can be 21%, 23%, 20%. Like, you'll see, like, well, women get paid,
75 cents on the
exactly,
dollar, yeah.
Exactly. The idea being that, men are earning that extra quarter or whatever it is. Now, here's the thing. That's not incorrect. Okay? When you evaluate earnings and do a two-step math equation like that, you will get that disparity. Now, here's the thing about that. Earnings do not equate to pay wages, right? Rates of pay or wages, all right? Everybody kind of needs to understand that. So if, and here's why. Men do earn more. They earn more. I didn't say they were paid more. They earn more. Men typically, and this is not to disparage anyone, this is just the way the world works. Men work longer hours. They spend more time in the career world, in the workforce. They take fewer vacations. We don't take family leaves. We don't have babies. Right? All those things there are just more men in the workforce. There are many women. There are a whole lot of women that work and have lifetime careers and all that. But when compared to men, there are more men that spend life in the career force than women do. So what they're doing is they're taking earnings, and when they find that inequality, and it is an inequality, I'll get to that in just a moment, which is completely fine, and they then conclude from that incorrectly that women are paid less. And it's complete nonsense, and I don't understand why it is still a thing. Now, understand this. I won't say that it has never been a thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because I had a teacher in high school who, Lord knows, 35, 40 years ago, she was on the forefront of the equal pay, equal work movement, and very proudly so. I was glad to know her, and she did a lot of good work.
Right.
Now, anecdotally, could someone pull an example somewhere where some woman is getting paid, unfairly? Probably. I'm not going to say like it doesn't exist, but largely as a movement or as some sort of social justice thing we have to accomplish, folks, it's complete nonsense. So the next question is, why? Why does it still exist? Why do we still? Why is this narrative still out there, and why is there still a movement? We recently had a bill that had come up in Tennessee that didn't make it out of committee. I think they wouldn't go for it because who would? Now, don't misunderstand, because they go, well, you're against women and you don't want... Absolutely
Right.
not. If this were true, I would be right there with everyone else.
Right.
Because that would not be fair. There is a difference between inequality and inequity. Mm-hmm. Inequality simply means a variable, a difference. Mm-hmm. You are taller than me.
Right.
In that way, we are unequal. There is an inequality. Mm-hmm. I have more hair on my head. In that way, we are unequal. There's an inequality.
Right.
There's nothing inherently bad about that.
We need to go get some poster board and make some picket signs and go out there.
No, we don't. That's the whole point. We don't need to be doing anything.
Oh, come on. You don't want to picket for you being taller?
Oh, yeah.
And then me having more hair?
It's inequality. And it's unjust and it's unfair.
Yes.
Yeah, I want someone to champion the cause so I can be taller.
Right.
Look, the world is full of inequality. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know where we got this idea that everything has to be equal. It can't be. Or to say that, what's that phrase I hate? We're going to level the playing field. Mm-hmm. Level the playing field. Ridiculous. It's an impossibility. You cannot perfectly level the proverbial playing field for everyone. Now, what we can do, and what we should do, at least in terms of looking at government, is clear the playing field, mm-hmm. get rid of all the hurdles and obstacles and regulation and red tape and anything that would prevent or hinder people
right.
from succeeding. Right? As far as this idea of inequality, when people use that word, they say inequality, what they mean is inequity. Mm-hmm. Inequity is when there is unfairness. If you and I go to work tomorrow mm-hmm. at McDonald's, we apply on the same day, get hired on the same day, and we're doing the same job, standing by each other at the grill, and you get paid a quarter more an hour than I do. Mm-hmm. That would be perhaps an inequity, or mm-hmm. one could argue. Right. But then again, that depends on certain things. In my profession, I've seen all kinds of places hire and give incentives mm-hmm. For military service,
right.
for college, mm-hmm. for whatever, lateral, if you have experience already in your field, even a signing bonus. Mm-hmm. Just because in my profession, in the police business, the recruits are hard to come by now. There was a time when it was very competitive, but now I've heard one of our local agencies is even offering like a $3,000 signing bonus just to get people in the door. That's not here nor there. If you're talking about inequality and you're using it as if it's something bad, rethink that, kind of examine it. Inequality is not a bad thing, and I don't mean this the way that it will probably sound. We are not all born equal.
Right, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, we need people that are better at some things than others.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We can't all be equal.
Right. We're not all meant to be doctors and lawyers and all that stuff.
Equal in personal worth, mm-hmm. equal in personal value.
Right.
In that, we don't treat someone else unkind because they are taller or shorter, or because they have more hair or a disability, or because they're a woman, or because they're of a different race. In that sense, we want to treat people equally and treat people fairly. Mm-hmm. But to start with this premise that we are all, that there's no inequality or there can't be, is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. There has to be inequality. There's going to be. It's just a given. What people are railing against, and what I understand, is inequity, mm-hmm. when there's an unfairness to something, and then that's a whole separate debate. Then we get into what's unfair and what's not. So back to this whole this pay gap myth. The question then comes, why this still exists, and who would support this? Who would push these kind of things through? There's a very easy answer. What do you always do? Follow the money. Who stands to gain from this? Lawyers.
Right.
They're the ones that are always in front of our politicians and our committees and our state houses and stuff that are espousing the benefits of these things, because if you will pass these measures and loosen the tort law on these things, they can sue. And if they sue, they get paid.
Right.
So that's why this still exists. That's where this is coming from. And I even saw today somebody posted something, and something popped up in my feed about what is Equal Pay Day. Mm-hmm. And as I'm reading the post, and it was 3 or 4 paragraphs, I noticed that the words pay and wages were in there, as were the words earnings and earned, and they were used interchangeably. And they're not the same thing. If I tell you what I earned last year, does that really, can you conclude from that exactly what I get paid? Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Especially when you take into account, overtime and other things like that. And plus, if I'm in the workforce longer over the period of my lifetime, and anyway, I've probably over-explained that, but it just really frustrates me because there are things out there that we need to be talking about. None of us like inequity, but I look at this, and there are very smart people that I know. I mean, I'm not even that smart of a guy, especially when it comes to math and money and numbers and but I can easily see the difference here. And like I kind of suggested to my friend today who was all up in arms about equal pay day, I said, read your post. You see how the words wages and pay are used interchangeably with earnings? There's your problem. There is your inequality.
Plus, too, I think that, coming out of college now, if you have a degree in some sort of STEM field that's going to get you a really nice paying job down the future versus someone who comes out with a degree in like underwater basket weaving or something like that, there's going to be a difference in your pay. I wonder if some of the things about maybe pushing women into the different fields, like not really pushing them to go into STEM fields, but going into other things, could be part of the equal pay thing.
Perhaps. There was a part of me at first too that thinks, well, what does it hurt? Who cares? Let them pass it. No big deal. Then, of course, like I said, you start following the money. You see who benefits from this. The lawyers benefit from this because they get paid to file lawsuits and things like that. And you're gonna get a lot of frivolous lawsuits. Again, kind of from just speaking from my world, I've never seen this happen. But say you've got a female police officer, a patrol officer, who's looking at her shift supervisor, her sergeant, and her male sergeant, who is working the same shift she is. She's doing this, she thinks, the same work that he is, answering the same calls. You understand where I'm going with this?
Right.
And then they want to file a lawsuit to go, well, I deserve to be paid as much as the sergeant, know. And at a certain point, that has no cap on it. Then how far do we go?
Right. The CEO of the company might work the same number of hours you do, but you're not doing the same job.
Right. But then the thing is, and you and I understand that, and most normal people understand that. But then we have to have, somebody's going to file a lawsuit, then we have to have a year worth of court hearings and experts and all this other mess to come to the same conclusion that you and I just came to. With the exception of you and I didn't get paid to have that conversation.
Right. And eventually somebody's just going to say, I'm tired of being in court. We'll just settle it.
Exactly. They'll make settlements because they don't want to stay in court and be sued. And the lawyers get paid. That's who's still pushing these things. And look, it's hard for people to let go of these things. I can understand looking at it and go, oh, well, to let go of this means to kind of admit that I'm wrong, that I've bought into this myth. But it is. The pay gap myth is just that. It's a myth. It may exist anecdotally, but if you'll look, all the things that for folks that have maybe championed this cause or feel like they've needed to support it, look at the writings on it. Look at how the math is deduced, and you'll see it for yourself. It's not even really hidden.
Could you imagine going to court on that? What people would say, like, "Oh, well, he's in court right now fighting against equal pay for women." You know what I mean? How bad would that look?
Like if you were the employer,
right?
Yeah. Then it comes into a character thing, and I don't know, man. But it's just one of those things that there's so many other things we could be dealing with. And I tell you what it shows, what it demonstrates, is how good we have it.
Oh yeah, we're fighting over
how
that.
Good.
Yeah.
This is how good we have it in America. When you think things are bad, look at the stuff that we're arguing about. The pay gap myth, which bathroom people get to go into. This is the stuff that it's a big deal in our country now because men want to go into the women's bathroom.
Yeah.
Now think about that for a minute. We have run out of stuff. We have run out of stuff to really be upset about.
Yeah, when you think about that, the water in that bathroom is cleaner than 90% of the drinking water in the world. That kind of puts things in perspective.
And we've run out of stuff to complain about. I saw something the other day. the headline, of course, very shocking. It was like, pregnant lady denied medical request at Subway, the restaurant, and all this kind of stuff. Did you see that?
I didn't see it, but I can imagine.
So there's this big, her medical request, and so you know, I'm like, oh my goodness, what did they do to this poor pregnant lady? So I opened up the story and I start to read, and here's the crux of it. Pregnant, and apparently, I didn't know this, but like cold cuts or deli meats or can maybe not be good for the baby or something. I don't know. But she wanted the sandwich artist at Subway to microwave the deli meat or the cold cuts, and
wouldn't that make them not cold cuts anymore?
I guess, but he apparently told her no, and did like I probably would have done. Told her how silly she was. And he basically said something like, "Lady, this is Subway's fast food. It's not fine dining." And
well, he is a sandwich artist, so she's messing with his art.
And he toasted it for her, but he only toasted it. He didn't microwave it, and he was mean to her. And here's the thing: this made national news.
Yeah,
this was an Associated Press or UPI story that got picked up all over the country. When I Googled it, it was everywhere, and they had, you know, the tearful interviews with this lady. He denied my medical request that I'm pregnant because of this and that, and on and on and on. And I'm like, because he would not microwave her bologna.
Oh, what is the world coming to?
He only toasted it, and then he said something that wasn't nice to her. She didn't. It hurt her feelings.
Do you remember, like 20, 30 years ago, people were afraid of microwaves because they thought it was radiation. It was going to like kill everybody.
Yeah, I think I know somebody that still kind of thinks stuff like that, but anyway, I don't want to talk about him. But this is where we are. So when I'm reading this, and I got the other day, I kind of got into one of those places where I'm just like so frustrated and shaking my head at all this mess. And then I just kind of went glass half full with it. I thought, you know what? We got it pretty good.
Yep.
We got it really good. Yeah, we do. Mm-hmm. If this is all the stuff, man, that we've got to wear, we're running out of stuff.
Right.
We're running out of stuff to complain about, to get mad about.
I drove my car to the Subway to get food just handmade for me for next to nothing, and they didn't do it right. So
he
I'm
only
upset.
toasted it. He didn't microwave it.
Other people are like hunting for their food, you know, or eating out of trash cans, and we're worried because the sandwich artist didn't microwave the food.
And look, if you were pregnant with a baby and I told you fried chicken wasn't good for your baby, where's someplace you might not go?
Stay away from the KFC.
Why is she going to Subway?
Why are you ordering the cold cuts? Get something else.
Well, I don't know.
So microwaving the cold cuts makes it safe? Is that what I'm hearing?
Because if you heat it up or something, I don't know, whatever bacteria it might carry, or I don't know.
Man, they're just...
I mean, I'm sure the science is probably okay on it. Maybe, you know, other people would know better than I do, but that's kind of peripheral to the story. It's like, why is she in the Subway to begin with? I'm going to go to the restaurant that serves deli meat and cold cuts and then expect the guy to, you know, now could he have done it? Could it probably, it'd have been just as easy. And, you know, but here's the thing too. This lady, like all of us know people like this lady.
Oh yeah.
And we don't like them.
We make fun of them behind their back.
And that's kind of what I wanted to reach through my computer screen and kind of tell her is like, look, lady, we all know people like you, and we don't like you.
I bet I could tell what kind of haircut she had too. That let me speak to your manager haircut.
Let me speak to your manager haircut. What does that look like? What is
it looks like the turkey with the feathers in the back. And the short, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The bun kind of sticking up a little
right.
across the. I got you. No, as I remember, she was kind of nondescript Midwest housewife looking, but that's where we are now. Yep. So, movies and TV and stuff. I had told you I was watching 11/22/63. Did you pick up any of that?
I watched it all.
You did?
I watched every. Oh,
what'd you think?
Oh man, that's awesome. I was even telling people today that they need to watch it.
Okay. I finished it as well. I thought the first half, when we sat and talked, and I was telling you that I was enjoying it, I thought the first half was much better than the second half.
Yeah, kind of like the last half of it kind of went, like it didn't, nothing like came about of it. You know, I mean, nothing was really finished, I don't think.
It kind of went, I don't want to spoil it, but didn't it kind of go obvious places?
Yeah.
It just seemed like if you and I sat down to write that story, this is kind of where we would wind up.
Right, not Stephen King.
Yeah. Hey, it's not that it was bad, it didn't seem very clever.
Mm-hmm.
And those last 4 episodes didn't quite carry the same punch. They didn't pull me in quite as much as those first 4.
I want to read the book now because people are saying the book is far, far, far better than.
Yes. And you can tell, even for someone like me who has not read the book, you can tell watching that it's very condensed. It moves very fast. It jumps very fast, even for an 8-episode series. That's good in one way because by the time it ended, I was kind of done with it. I don't know if I knew it was going on another 5 or 10 episodes. I don't know if I'd really want to stick with it.
I don't know if I'd want to watch a season 2.
Yeah. And I don't know that you could do that because you have when you start the show, you have a target. It's in the title.
Yeah.
You know your target date and you know your target event. So how long can you really delay getting there? 8 episodes was probably enough, but
you don't think you could like go back and do something different now?
Well, that's interesting. Yeah, make a season 2 where he makes another attempt.
Yeah,
and tries to do things differently. Then at a certain point, then how many seasons can you get out of that?
Yeah.
Then it becomes Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
and you're like, now I've seen 3 seasons of the same thing. Him trying to do a little different. You wouldn't have the surprises and the twists necessarily.
Yeah,
because now he's going to meet so-and-so, and this is where that happens.
Well, I don't know if like you gave up on the idea of stopping the Kennedy assassination. Maybe you went back and tried to keep Gary Powers from flying the U-2. Or,
that would seem like a much more monumental task.
Yeah.
But then, of course, they painted themselves into a corner of sorts with that 3-year window. Then you would kind of become hard-pressed to find other things. I mean, you mentioned one, but what else what else would be worth doing? And plus, given the way his attempt worked out, I got the sense, and maybe we all did, that we should be pretty discouraged from trying anything like that again.
Yeah,
because it didn't go well. But I mean, obviously, you can assume from the time you watch the show it's not gonna end well.
Right. It wouldn't be Stephen King if it did.
It just didn't seem very clever. I was kind of expecting a twist or something, and it just kind of went to an obvious kind of place for me. But what else is going on? Have you seen any of those Ghostbusters trailers?
Oh, they look horrible.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
It's depressing because I loved that movie when I was a kid. I mean, I love the first one. Now, the second one seemed kind of a little out there, but
even the original, is it really that good?
I think it is.
We just remember it that way. Is
I remember
there a
it.
nostalgia factor, or is Ghostbusters really deserving of the place that it holds?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's worth of like an Academy Award or anything.
Well,
but
no.
It was a good, funny, lighthearted kind of comedy movie in that era with Bill Murray. I mean, you can't go wrong with those movies.
I'm not encouraged. I'm not encouraged about what I've seen, and I don't know. I'm sure Gretchen will want to go see it. She likes Ghostbusters. She likes the original, has an affinity for it like most people, and she likes that whole crew with the Kristen Wiig and the Melissa McCarthy and all that. Bridesmaids is one of her favorites, and that's the guy that directed this, right? I can't think of his name, but so you get elements of that. So I figured she's in. That's probably not a hard sell there, and I don't mind it. I like Kristen Wiig. I think she's very funny, and Melissa McCarthy, she's a show stealer in pretty much anything she's in. But it's kind of like we were talking last time about, like, I can see sitting around the table where this seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, seemed awesome.
And then somewhere about halfway into it, you're like, this went better in my mind.
I think by the time the first trailer came out, and you're like, oh, wait, that's not going to work. That's...
We should reserve judgment. I mean, we do live in a world now where people judge and review movies before they ever come out.
Spoiler alert, they kill a ghost.
You're going to kill some ghosts, yeah. Don't get too attached to ghosts.
Yeah.
But that Star Wars Rogue One, did you see that?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I'll probably see it. Not.
That's it.
Yeah.
See, I'm more excited now about this than I was Force Awakens.
Really?
And you were the guy who was all big about stuff, and you're not even intrigued by this?
Well, I like the idea of the Star Wars movies, how big they are, and I just don't know.
I like this because it takes us back sort of into the original story. Well, I mean, I guess the last one did too, to a degree.
Yeah.
But, now we get just kind of a side note in the first movie about the rebels that had gone on the mission to steal the plans for the Death Star. And, what is it? Many Botans died to bring us this information.
Yeah.
And now we get that story. And I'm like, all right. Now, I hear tell, internet says that the main villain in this may be Darth Vader.
Uh-oh.
Which makes complete and total sense. I actually have been reading some of the, they're not new, but some of the more recent Darth Vader Star Wars comics. He had his own comic series. So I've read a little bit of that. It's pretty good. Maybe that's got my appetite up a little bit for that. I would have thought your excitement level, I can't believe my excitement level is higher than yours.
I'm just I was excited when I heard the idea of having all these standalone Star Wars movies, but now I'm just I'm sitting back and waiting just to see.
Yeah, but this one takes us back, though, too. We get to see that mission to steal the plans
I don't want to get my hopes up.
For the Death Star. Did we mention Civil War? Did we talk about that?
Spider-Man?
I don't think we have. We hadn't mentioned it in here?
I think we briefly went over the costume. That was about it.
Okay. I'm jazzed about that. Oh,
yeah.
I'm so excited. That can't come here fast enough. We're only, a couple of weeks away?
Yeah.
Saw today they have the, we're going to get some more Spider-Man films that they're going to, Spider-Man Homecoming.
Who's directing these, I wonder?
I have been told, but I don't remember, sir. But the Homecoming, which at first struck me as kind of an odd title, but they are going to, put him back in high school, and so I think there's the reference there is Homecoming. Oh, I was going to tell you about another show I had been watching. It's also on Hulu, a Hulu original, The Path.
The Path.
Have you started watching any of that yet?
No.
It's 4 episodes in. It's really good. It's really good so far. And it's one I get the sense is probably going to stay pretty good.
What's it about?
Okay. It is centered or focused around a religious cult of sorts, I guess. That's probably the way to...
Oh, I think I've seen some previews for that.
It's interesting. Their ideology, or the things that you pick up on the show that they kind of follow or teach, are very reminiscent of Scientology, but they live in almost like a hippie commune. It's like Scientology in a hippie commune, sort of. And the lead is Aaron Paul, who was Jesse on Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I have seen the previews for that then. Yep.
And he is really good. Now, for fans of him, or for that show, for Breaking Bad, I wouldn't have to say that, but I didn't really like, I won't say I didn't like him. The character of Jesse in Breaking Bad was annoying to me.
Yeah.
I really just didn't, I would get exasperated with him.
Very two-dimensional character.
And then it's when you have to remember that, Jesse is not a real person. He is a fictional character. Aaron Paul is the actor that brings Jesse to life, and I don't know that he's supposed to be sympathetic, but not necessarily likable.
Right.
Completely different in this. He's a different person, and he feels more normal, sort of.
Did you see the movie Need for Speed with him in it?
No.
He was awesome. I mean, it was a lackluster movie, but he was a really good actor in that movie.
Need for Speed, is that one of those? Is it a Fast and Furious one, or is that
kind of like that, but based off of the video game?
But it's not in that series.
No.
Oh. No, I hadn't seen that. I would be hard pressed beyond Breaking Bad to have told you anything else he's done.
Yeah, but
he's really good in this. So he has this their ideology or system or whatever you would call it. It has tiers in it, like they call it rungs on the ladder. They go the ladder, and he's at a 6, and his wife is at an 8, and the guy that leads them is at a 10, and certain information or spiritual revelations are reserved for the higher rungs and all this. So he goes, when the show starts, he has come back from a trip to Peru, where he has gone to get his next promotion, his spiritual promotion, as it were. And they trip out on ayahuasca, some kind of hallucinogen, like a Native American thing, kind of
or something?
sort of like that, yeah. But it's this ayahuasca. I don't know that it's as potent, but so they go down there and he trips out on that. Well, he actually kind of has the opposite of the intended experience. Like he doesn't see the light, and like his dead brother who committed suicide appears to him, and basically he wakes up from it all with doubts.
Oh.
And starts to kind of be shaken and thinking everything is not as it appears. And so when he comes back to the commune, he's kind of carrying this baggage of, I don't know if I really want to buy into this anymore. And he meets a girl who has clandestinely meets this girl who has kind of went off the reservation. She's trying to get out. She left the group, but she can't seem to move freely because when she goes to visit her grandparents, the sketchy looking guys from the cult, are there to meet her, and everywhere she goes, she's being watched and stuff. So he's kind of going back and forth. We're kind of following his struggle, which is, do I explore my doubts and questions, or do I double down on this and go deeper? And at one point he even says, this was it's very smart. It's a very smart show. At one point he even says to someone else, he's like, maybe does it even matter if it's not true? I have a good life, and I have a good family, and we enjoy, otherwise I'm happy. So what does it really even matter?
Right.
Even if it's not true. It's an interesting concept. So, and we've got the leader guy who's kind of an unstable type.
They always are.
Yeah. He's manipulative and charismatic, but we get glimpses of him behind the scenes where he's insecure and always kind of feels like he's just a little bit out of his depth.
Like the L. Ron Hubbard of the...
He's kind of... Well, there is a character that functions as the L. Ron Hubbard of sorts. They call him Steve. And supposedly, their leader guy, Cal, has told everyone else at the commune that Steve is off writing the next 3 rungs on the ladder for their book or whatever. In reality, Steve is in a bed hooked up to a bunch of tubes and is not long for this world. But
Steve.
Yeah, he's getting ready to go to the light. He's getting ready to climb the ladder,
Getting ready to see if what he said is true or not.
Right. But he's been trying to conceal that, and I think anticipating, of course, that because he has a pretty good leadership position where he is, and he's able to kind of report back sort of from Steve and all this. Well, of course, if Steve is gone and there's a leadership void,
then he's the new Steve.
Well, he wants to be, but see, is he qualified? He has, again, those insecurities. He feels like that's an opportunity for him to be pushed out.
Yeah.
When there's a leadership void, it's kind of like, you see what I'm saying? We need to shift things to a different way. So I encourage everybody to look at it. Again, maybe like some of these other shows, just fair warning, these are not, on primetime networks. Not that those shows are clean, but, these are private pay service shows, and, you're going to get some language and some adult content and stuff. So, if you're uneasy about any of that kind of stuff. But
I've been watching one lately that I kind of like. It's kind of the same as those Vinyl on HBO.
I've heard of that. I think I would like it.
Man, tell
me about it.
They got some awesome music. If you don't watch it for the story, watch it for the music.
It's about a record company.
Yeah,
isn't
it's a record company, and the guy that's the head of the record company is crazy. It's in the early 70s. Drugs are all over the place.
Right.
And, so he's meeting with these German people to sell the radio company because they're about to go under, and nobody knows they're about to go under. So he's selling the radio company to them, and at the last minute, he goes on this huge drug bender and decides not to sell the company anymore, and breaks into this meeting and just goes off on everybody and tells them he's not going to sell. Well, after that, he's stuck with this company that's about to go bankrupt, and all of his partners are mad at him, and, it's just the recovery process of that. And they're signing new acts, and, it's really good. I really like it.
How far along is that? Is it still in the first season?
Yeah, I think it's on like the 7th or 8th episode.
Oh, okay. So it wouldn't take, I can get called
up.
Oh,
yeah. Olivia Wilde's his wife, which,
right.
Go like that.
Right. 60 Days In. Did you check out any of that yet either?
I can't find it. I don't know.
It's on ANE.com.
Okay.
You go watch them. And I won't say they made it difficult to watch. It's not. You can go watch it at their website. But, in a day and age where you can expect you're going to find a show either on a network cable show or Netflix or Hulu or Amazon or something. And I have a little Chromecast device here at the house, so I can even, if I need to, I don't use it much, but project things from my phone or my tablet to the TV or stuff. You can't even do that with this. You have to go to ANE.com and either watch it like on your computer, or they have an app and you can watch it on your phone or your tablet. But as far as I missed the obvious, didn't I? Of course, you could just turn on A&E on your TV and watch it on A&E.
Who does that? Commercials?
But if you want to get caught up and see all the previous episodes and stuff.
My mom was telling me about that today. I was talking to her and she said she wanted to watch it. No, she hasn't watched it yet, but she wants to. And I was telling her that you were watching it.
Yeah, and my mom too. As soon as I saw those first 2 episodes, I told Gretchen, I said, I guarantee you my mother is watching this. And I even went into, I could hear her. I kind of mimicked what I thought she would be saying. That Robert, he's just so crazy. And sure enough, man, I called her the other day. I said, are you watching 60 Days? Yes! That Robert? What is... She just went on and on and on. We're talking about Robert the Crazy one. They actually put him in isolation. He got 30 days in the hole for messing with a camera. They have cameras all over, and a big no-no.
Yeah, I'd say
messing
so.
with a camera. And he got frisky one day and decided to, he didn't really hurt it. He took like a towel or a t-shirt and hung it over the camera or something. No. And even the other inmates were all of a sudden, they were like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. And of course they run in, snatched him out. And the captain who's kind of running the show, told him, said, look, you're in here to participate. You're going to participate. We're going to treat you like any other inmate. They get you 60 days in seg, or 30 days rather. So they put him in there, and of course they're showing all these other people who are kind of cracking up in there because you're, in your cell, in this little box,
in
basically
the corner or in the fetal position,
24 hours a day, right? They're going no clocks, no nothing. They're just going nuts. Robert's in there having a big old time. He's like, I'm flourishing in here. I'm calling this my meditation retreat. And they can buy stuff from, they serve them what passes for meals, but of course they can buy with their own money. They can buy things or order things from
ramen noodles and honey buns.
Right. So what Robert has been doing, or what he did during his 30-day meditation retreat in isolation, was he ordered through commissary like loads and loads of junk food. He's just sitting in there eating snacky cakes and cheesy poofs and just having a big old time. And he's patting his belly and they're all like, we're really worried about him. Something's not right.
I don't know. If I was in jail though, which I don't ever plan on being there, but if I was, I think segregation would probably be for me too.
Yeah. And I think that was kind of part of it, because you could see something a little different in Robert's eyes when it came time to go back to Gen Pop.
Yeah.
I think he probably did. Not that he really enjoyed the experience as much as he might have pretended to, but yeah. Well, that's cool, man. Well, I'll check out Vinyl. That's pretty good. All right, man. I'm going to teach you today. We also, when you talk about food, we're talking about food.
We always talk about food.
I want to teach you how to eat like Gwyneth.
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Paltrow.
Oh, good.
No, Gwyneth Johnson.
Down the street.
Gwyneth.
I don't know.
It's like saying, have you heard that new Prince album? Prince who?
Let's just, before we get into it, let's just imagine what Gwyneth Paltrow eats like. I'm imagining.
I'm going to tell you.
But just beforehand.
Go ahead and speculate.
And I'm speculating that there's no meat or cheese or anything involved. Probably all vegetables.
No, not
Really?
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Probably like lots of colon cleanses and different kind of liquids that have different stuff ground into them.
You're close to something on that. She wears a $168 beauty balm.
Ooh.
I don't know what that is. She gives herself a, I don't even really want to say the word, even though it's clinical, but she steams her sensitive areas.
Oh.
Yeah, her personal parts. Those cost $50 a pop. I don't know what it means to steam it, but
who is charging to steam Gwyneth Paltrow's?
Stanley Steam Cleaner. Yeah. Okay,
I'd imagine
all right.
there's a whole bunch of people that do that for free. I don't know.
I wasn't going to make that joke, but she buys for her friends $244 toothpaste squeezers. I guess that squeezes from the bottom up to
Oh my goodness.
$244 for a toothpaste squeezer.
Who makes that? I wonder.
That's good. That's a good question. If you and I were opening a business, I wouldn't suggest that we start by making $244.
Somebody's making a killing off a toothpaste squeezer.
Maybe.
It's
I
gotta
mean,
be-
I don't know. I don't know
She probably got that Sky Mall book.
what they're made out
You ever
of.
look at that Sky Mall and the airplanes? They got that Sky Mall book that's got all the crazy stuff in it that's super expensive.
Oh, yeah. Lifestyles of the rich and famous. But never before has such an encyclopedic vault of Paltrow's daily routines been available to her adoring public. She's created a cookbook
Ooh.
of sorts. And Gwyneth Paltrow, It's All Easy. Delicious weekday recipes for the super busy home cook. See, she's like us,
Oh, just like us, yeah.
right? Just a normal, average person.
Just a slob like one
and
of us.
yeah, right?
Just a stranger on the bus.
And it's got a picture. Look, and she's looking natural with
yeah.
little to no makeup, and wearing like a sweatshirt and a box of veggies, and a little graphic over here of some cash, and to show you that you save money.
I bet that sweatshirt's made out of hemp and smells funny.
Probably. I don't know. I would imagine a lot of things about Gwyneth. I wouldn't imagine she smells bad.
I'd imagine it smells funky.
I bet she smells like roses. Rose petals. So anyway, here's just a sampling of some stuff from her It's All Easy cookbook that's easy and casual and affordable and all this kind of stuff. So, okay, Sunday, we start with a breakfast of, it says an acai bowl. Acai bowl? That's like a berry, right? The acai.
Oh, yeah. ACAI with the
Yeah.
little
Am I
crazy
saying it
looking
right?
Acai or, yeah.
Acai berry. For lunch, we have a...
Wait.
What?
The breakfast seemed a little small there. It
An
wasn't.
acai bowl? Well, I mean, it depends on how big a bowl you want to make it, I guess. How many acai can you eat?
Yeah.
I don't know. Gretchen has bought like the acai juice and stuff.
Yeah.
I know she likes it. I should. Next time we're all together, I ask her about the acai. For lunch, now I really don't know what this is. Bibimbap salad.
She just made that up.
Bibimbap.
They're just making
Bimbap. Bibimbap salad.
Bibimbap.
And for dinner,
Banana.
cauliflower mac and cheese.
Okay.
That's the closest thing to normal I've heard so far.
Those are all side dishes for what I eat.
Yeah. What kind of beast puts cauliflower in mac and cheese? Good luck getting your kids to eat that.
Yeah.
I'm sure Apple eats that, though.
Yeah.
She named her kid Apple.
Yeah.
So. All right. For Monday, breakfast crepes. That's like, what is that?
It's like a pancake, but like flatter.
Oh, I always tend to, every time I see that, I think it's like a croissant or something, but it's not.
No, it's my aunt's really big into them. She makes crepes all the time.
For lunch, Thai curry noodle pot. Now, that actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
I'd like that.
I'm going there.
And for dinner, chicken enchiladas.
I do that.
So I'm
sometimes.
up for Monday.
Yeah, Monday's
she
a
can
good-
have me over on Monday.
Monday is a good day.
Tuesday, we have chocolate cinnamon overnight oats for breakfast. What makes it overnight oats?
Maybe she lets them sit
soak overnight?
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's buying instant oatmeal.
Steel cut, please.
I mean,
Steel cut
if you're
oats.
buying a $244 toothpaste squeezer and paying $50 to steam your private parts, you're not buying instant oatmeal. For lunch, bacon avocado toast. That sounds pretty good.
I'm good with there. Yeah, heck yeah. I love
Gretchen would like this. She loves
bacon avocado sandwiches. Are awesome.
And for dinner, kimchi fried rice. Wednesday, fried egg sandwich in the morning. Now we're good. Now we're talking.
We're talking.
Black bean soup for lunch and dinner. Rapini pasta with garlic. I don't know. Is there anything special about rapini? That would just be the shape of it.
Probably.
Thursday for breakfast, we have migas. Migas, M-I-G-A-S. Know what that is. Lunch is grilled cheese and easy tomato soup. And dinner, turkey meatloaf. Sounds pretty good. Friday.
Turkey meatloaf.
Yeah. My grandmother used to make a lot of turkey stuff for us when I was a kid. We had turkey burgers, and they were pretty good. Friday, ginger chia pudding.
Ooh, have you ever tried those chia seeds?
Oh, you know what that is?
Oh,
No,
they're
I
horrible.
wouldn't even know what
They're
this
gross, yeah.
is. Chia pudding.
Chia.
Ginger chia. And I don't like ginger. So,
No, out of there.
when I get my sushi and stuff, I always scrape the ginger off to the side or give it to Gretchen. I don't like. Well, what is the chia then?
You know, like chia pet?
All right.
The
Is
seeds
it just related to that?
The seeds you put on it?
No doubt.
Yeah, it's just the seeds.
Eating chia pet seeds.
Yeah. And they're gross.
They're
supposed to be really good for
grow
you,
a
though.
little chia pet in your stomach.
Yeah.
For lunch, I don't know what this is. Congee?
Congee.
Congee? Congee? Do you know?
No. I was going to make some big, bold, like I knew what it was, but I'm not going to
So
try.
you could have made up something. I was totally in. I was ready to go with you. You could have just kept going and said, well, actually, it's pretty tasty. It's made of this and that. And
It's made of a small South African animal named...
it's got ayahuasca in it. You trip on it. And for dinner, chicken piccata. Saturday, our breakfast is a pitaya bowl. Pitaya, pitaya bowl. Lunch, black bean taquitos. I can handle that. And dinner, salmon skewers. I like salmon.
Ooh.
All right. So that's how you can eat like Gwyneth. Now, what do you need to know before you go to the grocery store? You might want to take some coupons.
Okay.
If you eat the above menu for 7 days and nothing else, it will cost you just over $470.
Sweet.
That's an average. That's an average of $67 a day.
She's so down to earth. She's just like us.
Exactly. $22 per meal. If I'm for $22, I'm going to Majestic Steakhouse.
For real. I'm heading to the El Vallarta.
You're right. So if you want to be like the actress, you'll have to spend 4 figures. So a few $100 is more manageable for her. She's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And it's not like a foodie would whip up a meal with an off-brand ingredient. You say you got to buy, you know, Whole Foods
You can't be
name
going
brand.
with the Quaker Oats. You got to go with the real deal.
But then, now having read all that and knowing it's going to cost me like $500 a week to eat all that, I go back to that picture again with old Plain Jane looking Gwyneth with her veggies and her cash, all the cash over here that I'm going to say. How out of touch. Does she not know that most people don't spend $500 a week?
She probably doesn't.
On groceries.
She probably doesn't have any idea.
Obviously, she wouldn't put it on the front of her book.
She probably thinks it's cheap. She probably thinks that that's like, not a whole lot of money.
No, and to her, it's probably not.
Yeah.
But anyway, aside from the money, I don't know what half those things are. Congee and bibimbap and
But because I guess that's the difference, because if I were to see stuff like that and it were to cost $22, I wouldn't buy it. Like, I wouldn't try it for 20. I mean, if it was over at somebody's house and we were eating and they had it, might try it, but I wouldn't go out and just buy that stuff to try it for that amount of money.
no. And that kind of stinks too, because we all know, like, we could eat, but I eat out of a freezer and out of a can most of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of processed food is not good for me, and I know that. It's cheap, it's quick, and it's easy.
Yeah.
Very candidly. I'm not making a justification. That's just the explanation.
Right.
But people tell you it's not, and I don't know how they do it, but they're certainly not going to do it following Gwyneth's plan, but it's expensive.
Yeah.
To go and try to eat healthy and to buy healthy food. And maybe if we didn't have any alternatives, we wouldn't know any better. But when you're looking at this nice healthy food and all these veggies and fresh stuff over here,
And
then you're looking
at
at
the little Debbie box for $1.79.
mac and cheese 3 for $1, or ramen noodles 5 for $1, whatever.
I don't understand the sodas, because I've been trying to cut sodas down in my life a little bit. And like, sodas are probably the cheapest thing in the grocery store to get versus like getting juice or something like that. But you can buy a 2-liter bottle of soda for what you could buy a 20-ounce bottle of soda for, or a 12-ounce.
Yeah, there's a weird price formula on those. I'd never, and I mean, I'm sure it's there because that's what people pay.
Right.
And I've done it. It's weird. If I'm going in to buy a 2-liter of soda, I'm looking for the cheap one. But if I want a bottle of soda, I'll pay $1.50, $2.
Right, and not even worry about it.
No, I don't know what that is. They've got us conditioned. I'll tell you I have some stories about soda. I enjoy it. Now, I don't drink a lot. I may have one every 2 days maybe 3 days. I just don't drink a lot of them. And I think, to me, that's a pretty good balance. I mean, it's really better if you don't drink them at all.
Right.
And we all recognize that. But I don't guzzle them, and I enjoy them more, when I have them. They are more refreshing. The problem for me came, I've been kind of holding this in. I don't know if I want to talk about it publicly now or not. Shame my household. But I couldn't keep them in the house. If I brought home a 6-pack or 12-pack of Pepsi or Mr. Pibb, which is my favorite, they're gone within a day or two. And I didn't get any.
Yeah.
And we had the kids here at our school had a fundraiser recently, and they sold sodas. And I bought like 2 cases. I got like a case of Dr. Pepper and a case of Pepsi, and they're still sitting in my office. I've been bringing them home like a 6-pack at a time, and I hide the 6-pack. Like I'll put like 1 or 2. I have to put 1 or 2 in the refrigerator, way back in the back, like behind something, and then I have to take the rest of them and I have to go hide them.
Or like open them, stick them in there and open them so people think they've never even drank out of it.
I haven't thought of that. Just all of them. Take a swig out of all. That's clever.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you how bad it got, man. Back at the beginning of the year, I'm embarrassed to admit this. I seriously considered buying myself a mini fridge for my own house so I could have sodas to drink. I mean, for about a month, I was shopping for them on Walmart. Oh, they're having a deal on that one. I can buy this one. And then I just gradually kind of figured out, okay. And I would even tell Nate, don't drink my sodas. And he would drink them. I said, don't drink them. And he would drink them. Why would he drink them when I said, don't drink them?
Because he's a kid.
And between him and now, Gretchen doesn't necessarily drink a lot. She drinks more than me, not nearly as much as him. If there's a 12-pack in there, he will drink them all. He will just go through them. She started getting some kind of like the Diet Right Zeros or something like that, so he can sort of kind of get his soda fix, but it's not really as bad. Maybe
maybe he won't drink as much as that.
But yeah, man, I've had to come up with all these.
One thing I've had to do is Little Debbie's in my house are like a hot commodity, and even the neighbor kids when they come over know that I keep a bowl on my table with Little Debbie's in it. And they just go and like it's theirs, they go and get it.
Yeah, that's availability.
Yeah, never a big problem, but I noticed that like every time I was going to the store, I was buying 3 and 4 boxes of these Little Debbie's, and I'm thinking I'm supporting diabetes in the whole community,
Right, little diabetes.
Yeah. So now I put them up in the cabinet. I hide them up in the cabinet so that they can't see them necessarily, and I put them out like 1 box at a time.
And it's not even that I mind, I'm not trying to withhold tasty delights and beverages from my family, but when you go out and buy 2, 3, 12-packs and come in a couple of days and there's none left, or you got 1 out of there, because that's what you start doing. Then you start keeping score.
Yeah.
I only got 1.
1 to 11.
I know exactly how many days they were in there and how many I got. They were in there and I only got 2. And you drank all the rest, and then everybody wants to deny drinking them.
Well, I only had 3, and I only had 2.
Yeah.
So an invisible person came in
3 and 2 and 2 and 2. That's 12. Yeah. See how that works? They're gone. One more thing before we get out of here today.
Okay.
The Dear Abby. We hadn't done a Dear Abby in a while.
Oh, let's do Dear Abby.
It wasn't especially funny, but just curious what you thought. One of my coworkers, this is the Conflicted in California is her name. She writes
California is already starting bad.
One of my coworkers, says Conflicted in California, Liz, lost her mother and an aunt to breast cancer. She had genetic testing done and found that she carries the breast cancer genes. As a precaution, she had a double mastectomy and a hysterectomy. That's somebody that don't want to get some cancer.
Yeah, well.
Points for being committed. I mean, and there's a logic to it. A lot of people are doing that more because they think they're getting better about predicting it.
Yeah.
When they catch it in your genes like that, like mom had it, grandma had it, it's pretty well a given that you're probably going to come down with it.
Right.
Who was it? Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, she had it done.
Yeah,
too.
Right. So that's not uncommon. Since her surgery, Liz has been attending Relay for Life events, and we have those here, Relay for Life, like in the neighboring county. They do Walk of Hope, where they raise money for the Cancer Society. Liz has been walking in the Survivor lap. There has been a huge backlash here in the office Because people think Liz is misrepresenting herself as a cancer survivor. They are being cruel and calling her a liar, not so much to her face, but all over social media. I wonder, here's the question to Abby, if you think it's appropriate for her to call herself a survivor. Now, keep in mind that, even though everything we've said, she's never had or been diagnosed with cancer. She's kind of drawn, and you know how snarky people are.
Yeah.
But I can understand that, too. If I am a cancer survivor and I'm walking the lap, and I know somebody that's never had cancer is out there walking, too, I don't know. There's a little narcissism there, a little selfishness. Because I almost wanted to use the word glory, like, you're stealing my cancer glory. But at the same time, you can kind of see both sides. She's never had the cancer, but she probably was going to have it.
Right.
And she committed enough to have the mastectomy and the hysterectomy.
Her mom passed away from it, and her aunt passed away from it. I mean, she's lived with cancer.
Yeah, but she's walking in the survivor lap as if she is a cancer survivor.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you articulate that she is or not? Or
well, I mean, it's obvious that she's not, but who's keeping score on the cancer lap as to who can go in there and who can't?
Right. All her friends and snarky coworkers.
Right.
Maybe that's the lesson there. I saw this and I thought, well, maybe we could have a discussion about whether or not she should, but I think you've probably put a better light on it. Like, why do you worry about it? Why do they feel the need to police it?
Right.
But I don't know, though, too. You've got to imagine if you've really been battling and cancer has really affected you personally, that, I don't know, you would kind of take that personally, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I mean, do you see those, like, have you seen those Stolen Valor video clips?
Yeah.
Now, those guys are kind of crazy.
That's a decent analogy, maybe.
But those guys, I mean, it's true. The people that are there, they haven't been in military service, and, they're masquerading like they are. I don't know. You just assume that someone who had just survived cancer and had made a full recovery and is doing good would have more stuff to think about.
Well, and it gets into semantics. I mean, to her, if you were to ask her, she would probably articulate to you why she is a survivor.
Right. She probably feels that she is a cancer survivor.
Yeah, especially if she gave up her breast and her womb, to a hysterectomy.
Right.
I mean, that's pretty intense, which I understand.
Well, and you got to put it, too, like the person that had a little melanoma on their forehead who got it removed, outpatient, does that give them the right to be in the cancer survivor lap versus someone who's had severe surgery?
They would, by technicality, would come closer to the definition, wouldn't they?
Right.
Than Liz. But in severity, that's interesting. Let's see, you raise more questions, though, than you.
I don't answer anything.
Well, Abby says, "Dear Conflicted, considering her family history and what genetic testing revealed about her chances, of suffering the same fate as her mother and aunt, what Liz did seems prudent to me. That her coworkers would trash her on social media is appalling." That's kind of what you said. They're being jerks. What horrible people they must be, says Abby. I think the woman has suffered enough to walk a victory lap without being criticized for it, don't you?
Right.
I think Randall says so.
Out of my whole life, if Abby had said that I was a horrible person, I would say that my life would be over.
I mean, even though she didn't know you, doesn't know who she's talking about or calling you by name, but if you're reading that and go,
man, that's me.
And nationally syndicated, beloved by the entire country, dear Abby says, you're a horrible person.
Right.
You should kill yourself.
Yeah, go ahead and take yourself out.
Good luck with that cancer.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So I guess, what's funny, we started that conversation. I was kind of leaning sort of against the lady, but you know what? I've kind of come around. Listening to you, listening to Abby, I say give the old gal a pass.
Give Liz a chance.
And be nice.
Yeah.
Let's be nice to people.
People do this. Who cares? I mean, of course, I care about cancer, and I care about people surviving cancer, and I care about the whole thing, but when you're breaking down into who's
worthy.
Yeah, who gets to do the lap, or let whoever wants to do the lap.
Yeah, who's worthy. I don't know. Yeah, we could all use a little more kindness. I think what the world needs now is love, sweet love.
Sweet love.
All right, we'll bring it home for today. Hey, we're gonna do very soon. We're gonna do another game show.
I like the idea of the watching a movie and doing the Mystery
commentary.
Science Theater 3000. Yeah.
I have to work on that. We just got to come up with the right show. But the next big project I want to put is not a big project. Look at that. Sounds great.
We're going to spend a whole $3.52 on this next one.
Springtime game show. And I don't know if we may do another Would You Rather, or maybe come up with something else if we have a different game. But we'd like to do that maybe on a Sunday afternoon sometime in May, maybe. So I don't know what your availability is, but keep us in mind, and we'll come back with another game.
Yeah, we ought to do something, and just to mess with Nate, say we're going to do something crazy like Pictionary or something on this, and say we got to figure out how we're going to describe what we're drawing. Just make him in charge of that.
That actually could be funny. If like 2 or 3 of us played Pictionary, and Nate's job for the game
is to describe
to the listeners. Okay, Dad's drawing a straight line. There's another line. It's forming a 90-degree angle. He's gone with a semicircle of sorts. Could it be an eye, perhaps?
Squiggly lines.
No, it's an ear. It's an ear. Okay, all right. I don't know. There's that's a lot of possibility there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being with us today, and we hope you'll join us again. And I'm Pastor Dave, sitting with Randall the Armor Bearer, and we are
They That Believe.